We are back on the bottom line with my solo episode talking about earned, not given. It's outworking the odds. And I want to get to the real truth about something people really avoid altogether is that discipline, right? I'm going to spend a lot of time on this because this is the key factor in success. You cannot avoid this part. Sometimes people are given great things. That happens. A great example, the lottery. People win the lottery. It's luck, sheer luck. But the truth is, most people that win the lottery end up broke within a few years, just like a lot of professional athletes. They get all this money, sign all these deals, get all these contracts. They end up poor again. It's called become the millionaire before you are one. That's what I call it. This is the concept that I apply to my discipline. Doesn't matter what it is I'm striving for. If I understand my reason why, my purpose, I know what my end target looks like. I know what my goals are, the milestones, who I want to become is. I have to become that person right now, in the moment. And it's through discipline. What does that person do on a regular basis? Ask that question. If you want to be a professional athlete, what does a professional athlete do on a day to day? What do they eat? What time do they get up? What do they study? How often do they practice? How often do they train? You want to be the CEO of a company? You want to start a great business? You want to be successful author, speaker, writer? What does someone that is successful in that field, in that area, do on a day to day basis? What do their disciplines look like? See, everybody wants results. Few want routine. Everybody wants to win. Few want to train like a winner. Hard truth, but it is the truth. It's easy to spout out all these things we want, but it's so easy to lack the discipline. To achieve a dream is simple, but it's not easy. The simplicity is here's what I want to do, here's what I have to do to become it, to achieve it. The hard part is actually doing it. To say the words out loud, not difficult. But to consistently apply the self discipline required to become that thing, to achieve that thing, is where 95% of our population fails. See, talent without discipline is wasted potential. I believe everybody was born with a gift, some sort of gift. It is up to us to apply the discipline to master it. So if you were born with a gift, a talent, but you don't apply the discipline to master it further, it's just wasted potential. You'll never be as good as you could have been. To me, that freaks me out. Why wouldn't I put in the discipline required to be the best version of me? If when I die someday, I'm shown the version of me I could have been, and I'm standing there feeling really small in comparison, that'd be a shame. That'd be scary. I'm terrified of that. So I refuse. You could too. See, I didn't succeed because I had it all figured out. I succeeded because I kept showing up. Like I said, early in my career, before I took over a large manufacturing company, I was being mentored. I was a welder. I didn't have formal education in management. I wasn't, Six Sigma certified, anything like that. But I knew I wanted to take the director role. I knew I wanted to be the guy responsible for the entire company. So my plan to get there was to become the problem solver, solve everyone's problems, just be that guy, to ask a lot of questions, to learn everything I can, to be a humble student. And then second, to apply the most gritty work ethic I possibly could find. The discipline I applied to being a continuous learner, problem solver, and steward of the knowledge that is imparted to me put me in the position of running for that position with people that had master's degrees, people that had 10, 20 years of experience, and I got the job over them. Not because I had everything figured out, but because I knew if I showed up every day with the belief that no one around me could outwork me, would try harder than me, or fight harder to get the right results, I knew if I showed up like that every day, there's no way that position would be mine. And that's exactly what happened. You see, I could want that position all I wanted. I could talk about it. I could say, I'm going to have it. I'm going to have it. I'm going to have it. But if I didn't apply that consistent hard work tied to that really gritty belief system of I've got this, it would have never happened. It wasn't up to anybody else. It was up to me. That position was earned, given. You see, self discipline means acting even when you don't feel motivated. Most people only move when they feel motivated or inspired. Success is earned when you move, even when you don't want to. You go to work, you don't really want to work, you goof around on your phone, scroll on TikTok for 12 hours. It's not going to get you anywhere. Successful people put the work in even when they don't feel like it, even when they don't want to. Sometimes they're sick. Sometimes they have to sacrifice things. But success is earned, not given. It's the whole premise of what this show is about. That discipline is required. See, discipline, though, is taught at an early age, whether we know it or not. We witness it from the people around us. Your discipline can be wrecked from the start by witnessing people say they're going to do something and not doing it. It also influences the acceptance of poor integrity. But at the same time, I have learned a lot of people you can break it down. If they have good integrity, they typically have a lot of self-discipline. People with high self-discipline also tend to have pretty good integrity. I don't know why those two go hand in hand, but I've yet to find someone who's extremely disciplined but lacks integrity. Just like that integrity aspect, that discipline is learned. If you see people that don't put in the work, why do you want to put it in, right? But at the same time, without a clear why, it's easy to quit when it gets hard. And this is why I talked about it as a foundation. No matter what happens in that process of your discipline to build that building, to reach the sky, to build the dream, to become whatever, if it all comes crumbling down, you still land on that foundation that you have, and that's your reason why, that's your purpose. Without it, you cannot build, cannot grow. You might get something put together, but it's not going to last, and you're not going to be happy with it 20, 30, 40 years. Finding a reason why is just as important as the discipline, because the discipline can't truly be applied without a reason why. Trying to be disciplined without a reason why, it's like putting jelly on bread before peanut butter. Yeah, maybe there's some argument that could be had there, but I think people that put the jelly on first are just crazy. That why is just as important, but the discipline is the part that most everybody lacks. A lot of people understand they want to do great things, they want to be kind, they want to make a difference, but very few people actually do anything about it consistently, right? Strong reasons make strong people. Lack of reasons makes waste of space. Maybe that's sensitive to say, but that's how I feel about it. So if your why is weak, your excuses will win. At all times, good and bad exists. Your brain is wired for survival, not thrival. So your brain's going to try to find excuses for you not to do what's uncomfortable because it wants to survive. It doesn't like uncomfortability. But if growth comes from being uncomfortable, you have no choice but to fight that survival instinct and put yourself in those uncomfortable situations. So if your why, your reason why for being uncomfortable is weak, your excuses will win every time. You'll be a survivalist. You won't be a thrivalist. Weird way to put that, but for me, it helps me understand that and measure myself. If I'm getting comfortable, I know something's wrong. If I don't feel any kind of stress, even subtle pressure, if I don't feel it, I know something's wrong. I know I'm getting comfortable. And that's a problem. So my discipline kicks in and says, I'm going to move myself into unfamiliar territory so I can get back to being in a cycle of learning, growing, and conquering. Most people won't do this. That's the truth. Becoming an entrepreneur, becoming an author, a speaker, anything you want to be. Most people won't even attempt it. They just don't have the discipline. And then sometimes you get the few that will try, but as soon as things get hard, they back off, they fall apart, they crumble, they collapse. Your discipline will build you and harden you. It'll give you a tough exterior and a shell that can weather the storm. But if you lack self discipline, you're going to get hit, you're going to fall down, and it's going to be really hard to get back. There's so many ways to look at discipline and to start discipline. The easiest way I've found to start building your self discipline is when you wake up, make your bed. Same thing they do in the military. It's a simple, easy task. There's not a major reward out of it in the right in the beginning. The reward in it is making yourself do something even when it's easier not to do it. In this situation, it doesn't even necessarily better you. Yes, at the end of the day, you get to go back to laying in a nice made bed. It is nice. It is refreshing. But some mornings it's gonna suck. You don't want to do it. You're running late, whatever the problem may be. You're gonna have excuses. It's just reality. But discipline says my reason why is bigger than my excuses. So start by making your bed. Then make your breakfast. Then study something. Turn into a learner. Work on your physical health. Work on your relationships. You can apply that discipline to anything, and anything that you are disciplined in will fuel the discipline for other bigger things. So start small. Start by making your bed and watch how that discipline grows into every area of your life. Again, if your why is weak, your excuses will win. So start building that discipline now to strengthen your reason why, and your reason why will strengthen your discipline. Start a cycle of positive growth and powerful attitude. It's all up to you. No one gets to decide it for you. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. I want to continue this conversation because there's a lot more coming that's going to add value to your life and help you find that discipline to move forward. We'll be right back on the bottom line.